Hello everybody and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Yes, I know I am Alex. I have no idea why I'm Alex. I tried changing my skin, but it didn't go through today, so not sure. Also, today was supposed to be a 3S2 video, however, due to the 1.18 update, I'm not able to get on Realms at the moment. I think I have to wait for it to update, and by the day that you're watching this, it should be all good. If not, I will let you know. But speaking of 1.18, today we're going to be doing a tier list of all the new things that were added in the game, such as all of these things over here. Now, I'm going to be categorizing them almost like, you know, your S, A, B, C, D, all that kind of tier, but instead I thought I'd do it with Minecraft blocks. So coal would be the worst, redstone's a little better, iron's better, copper's pretty good, gold is really good, and diamond is obviously the best. So we're going to be going through how I personally see each of these things that were added into the game, if they're super useful or super cool, or if they're pretty useless and I hate the fact that they were added in game. Now remember, some of these things could be changed in the future, in future updates, but for the most part it looks like all these things are here to stay. So let's get started. Alright, the first thing we have here is the Dripstone Caves. The new caves that are filled with the dripstone blocks, absolutely covering the entire cave. They look pretty cool, to be honest, but it does make dripstone a little bit less valuable. It no longer has much value if you find one of these caves. And it's also incredibly deadly, but I like the fact that it adds that new danger. I think I'm going to put it up on the gold tier just because it does look cool, but it's extremely dangerous, and it brings the value of dripstone down a little bit. So dripstone caves are going to go there. And actually, while I'm at it, let me get a different item frame. The next one is the Lush Caves. The Lush Caves are very similar to the dripstone caves, but instead, they are covered in vegetation and wildlife, and they look super, super cool. They're also a great source of finding the azalea tree, I think, along with the, what's it called, the spore blossom, something like that, which creates a really cool particle effect. Now, I honestly like the Lush Caves a lot more than the Dripstone Caves, especially because of other things that are in the Lush Caves that I'll talk about in just a second. So honestly, I think I'm going to have to put this in the top tier. The Lush Caves are absolutely fantastic. Next one is mountain biomes. With the new mountains, there are several different kinds of biomes that look very similar to biomes that we already have on the ground. They're just elevated on the mountains. So, is it anything new? No, not really. So, because of that, I don't know. It's between the iron or the copper. Which one should I choose? We'll put them in the copper. I mean, they're cool biomes and everything, but to be fair, we kind of have most of these biomes already, just on a lower level. So, but they still look pretty cool overall, and I'm gonna leave them here on the copper. The next one is the super mountains. Like, the fact that the mountains are now huge, that was the main part of the update, was the fact that the caves got bigger and the mountains got bigger. That's the whole point of the cliffs part. So they're absolutely fantastic. I love it. This is an easy top tier thing. It belongs up there because that is the entire point of the update. They look awesome. It's going to be really hard to find a short mountain now like we used to find. Up next is the different ore veins, because now they're spread out differently throughout the world at different build heights, and certain ores you can find at higher elevations and other ores you find at lower ones. And now they've made it so that you can find certain ores in larger quantities and other ores in lesser quantities. So, how do I feel about this? I do like the fact that they're spreading out the ores, but the fact that some ores, I think diamonds in particular, are a little bit harder to find larger veins of them. It's not necessarily harder to find diamonds, but it's harder to find longer veins of them. So I'm not sure how I feel about it. So I'm going to put it in the copper tier, which is basically kind of like the mid tier, where I'm like, yeah, it's good, but it's not terrible. The next one is a new music disc called Other Side. I've actually listened to this several times on playlists of mine, but I've never actually found it in-game yet, because I've really only been on the server once since then. But it's my favorite music disc of all. It's the catchiest one, and I'm trying not to listen to it too much, because I don't want to get too sick of it, but I love this thing, and that's exactly why it is going top tier. Super catchy, super cool, and I really hope that I find one on the 3S2 server. Now we have the world height. The world height has been changed, so now the bottom of the world is not 0, I believe it's -64 if I'm not mistaken, and the new build height is like 320 something, as opposed to the previous 256. This will allow for much larger builds, much bigger scaled builds, and I can't wait to see how many different YouTubers incorporate the new world height and they make massive builds of their own. I think this is a really good idea. I have absolutely nothing wrong with it, and yeah, that's all I have to say about that. However, I will say you can't really tell that there's a new build height because the mountains never really reach it. So, while it's super cool and everything, it's not like you can visibly see the difference really in one single image. But it's still super cool, so it's going in the gold. Next up is the caves. The main part of the update is making bigger caves, and boy oh boy are they amazing. The new caves are humongous, and half of them look like ravines on their own, and those are the normal sized caves now. We still have the worm-like caves that we did before, those little ones that you just follow throughout and hopefully find something valuable, but now you have massive ones that add extra dangers but extra valuables at the bottom, as long as you're looking in the right places. So, again, just like with the mountain part, I have to put this in top tier because it's so cool. Bringing us to the next one, we have the mob light level. I could be mistaken, however, from what I've been told, now in 1.18, mobs can only spawn at light level 0. So if you were to go to this screen right here, if you look at, where do you see the light level? Oh, I see it. So the client light is currently 13, 14, and I believe 15 is the maximum when you're in direct sunlight. So I'm pointing it out to you right now, I hope. So the only time that mobs can actually spawn now is at light level 0, which would be basically midnight or in a super dark cave. That is the only way that it can possibly spawn. Now, do I like this? Yes and no. Well, this will make it easier to make builds and stuff and prevent mobs from spawning. At the same time, it kind of defeats the purpose of making it difficult. However, it is sometimes annoying to have to spam torches all over your base. So because of that, I actually kind of like the fact that it's updated like this, and I'm going to put it in the gold tier. Makes everything easier, but not too easy. Wait, I put the wrong thing in this frame. It's supposed to be the mob light level. There we go. The next one is the Axolotl spawn. I hope I spelled Axolotl right when I was changing the thing. Anyways, Axolotl, as you know, are these cute little critters that like to swim around in the water. Now, up until 1.18, you could find them in any kind of water source, whether it was something like this, or a vast ocean, whatever it may be. However, in the 1.18 update, as far as I know, they can only spawn in the Lush Caves biome that we were talking about earlier. That new kind of cave type, the Lush Caves, you can only find them there. Do I like the fact that they changed that? Yes and no, because it makes Axolotl a lot rarer and a lot more cool. However, if you're trying to create an army of them, you're no longer going to really want to do that, considering it's going to be hard for you to find more. So, I'm probably, it's between copper and iron. I'm actually going to put it in the iron one, because I just gotta say, it's not my favorite thing in the world. The fact that they changed that, I wish they were more accessible, but I guess not anymore. Next up is the enchantment table. Now in 1.18, these will emit a small amount of light. As you can see, when I place this, you might not have been able to see it. Let me see if I can put it inside a cave of some kind. If we just like dig this out a little bit until it gets really dark. If I place this enchantment table down, As you can see, it emits a small glow. Now I have a feeling that it did that before, not in 1.17, but several updates ago, or maybe it's just on Pocket Edition because I used to play that. But either way, I really like the hidden feature. It really makes it feel more enchanty, if you know what I mean. But it's not a huge update of any kind, which is why I'm just going to put it here on the copper tier. It's not fantastic, but it's still pretty cool. This one is not something in the game, but rather right outside of the game. It is the home screen image. Now when you log on to Minecraft, you will see this new wallpaper in the background. And it looks pretty cool in my opinion. However, since it's not technically something that is in the official 1.18 update, I'm not going to put it terribly high on the list. In fact, I wish they actually showed even larger mountains in the home screen or bigger caves. I feel like the potential for a cool wallpaper was there. They kind of delivered, but they could have definitely made it a little bit better. So this is going to be our second one on the iron tier list. Or sorry, the iron tier. Two more things to go, the next one being the copper ore drops. Specifically copper used to be kind of annoying to mine because when you were to break it, it would only drop a couple of raw copper things. But now, when you break them, it will drop a lot more. I believe anywhere from 2 to 5, which is pretty nice, honestly, and that's not even with fortune. So I gotta say, the fact that copper will be a lot more accessible and we'll be able to make more cool builds with it, that's fantastic. I have no complaints about that. In fact, I think I'm going to put that gold tier. Well, not the painting. Whoopsies. I'm going to put that right here on gold tier, actually. Because I really like copper, but I haven't used it in many of my builds because of how hard it is to find. And as light is quickly fading, let's do the last one. The last one is Realms! With the new 1.18 update, I can't wait to make more Realms videos. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I've already explored the world once before I was, like, kicked out because of the new update or whatever. I don't know how to explain it. Basically, I was able to get on the server one time, and it took a little bit of time to actually get on, and I haven't been able to get on it since. But I made sure to do a good little fly around the world on that day, and I did see that it didn't change that much, but the mountains are more steep, and the caves are absolutely huge. So you can definitely look forward to more episodes of Realms, some of them definitely having pieces of the 1.18 update showing. So maybe it's cheating that I'm putting Realms at the very, very top. Kind of a shameless self-promotion, if you will. But that is our tier list for today. I'm very happy we didn't have anything in the redstone or the coal tier. We have, once again, just to show you, the home screen image and the axolotl spawn is down here on iron. Just above, we have the different mountain biomes, ore veins, and the enchantment table light. Up in the gold, we have our Dripstone Caves, our world height, our mob light level, and the copper ore drop. And up here on the diamond, we have our Lush Caves, our super mountains, other side disc, and the bigger caves. That is all I have planned for today. If you are very excited that the 1.18 update is finally here, make sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. And tell me what you wish was added to 1.18 that wasn't, or what you would like to see in future updates. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time.